So,
Greetings, Julio.
good morning, Inzan.
Good evening. So do you
Uh,
want to start with that question I just posed there?
can you please post it on the stream so I can read it without
Let me see if I can do it from here. Um,
yeah,
are you on Sangha Live or you?
Sangha
Are
on?
you? Uh-huh.
Yeah, this part of it.
But
So,
I am the king.
Yoti,
Major technical problem out here. I don't know what's happening. Where is it? I tried posting a question. There is no window for that.
Okay,
There is no window. There is no window to post questions. I put one. I put one on the comment list.
so,
here.
today
Can you hear me?
uh, we are
Where
broadcasting
are the 107 gets?
for first time, inviting opening the Sangha Live to the public, which is, I think, is the idea. It's the idea is to engage, to get people engaged instead of just sitting down and blah, 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 blah,
Inzan looks very worried.
expecting, like
Very well.
my head, put on the robe, instead of I have a hat because I'm sweating a lot. So, but let's start with the question.
Inzan looks very, very grim. What's happening? Inzan, hi.
Hi, Jyoti. Did you hear when I thank you for taking up the mantle of putting all the Tang and Song dynasty Chinese
Shh, quiet.
masters? It's good to
Okay,
see.
nice. I'm liking it actually. It's very nice to read. It's really good to read. It got me
I
interested.
agree.
So, did you write the question?
Yeah, I did. I put it as a comment. It's not coming on the window there. You want me to read it out?
Let's open the window instead of question and answers the chat
It's
window.
not coming that way. I tried. So I put it as a comment. It's not opening as a question answer window.
Cannot open with all of them.
It's a little bit more tricky. Use the chat. It says chat. Chat.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
open a little chat.
I'll go to the chat.
You can go to the chat
Right.
here.
Here.
I sent you a chat already here.
Is it? No, I got this video call a hangout only. Okay, I'll try. Bye. Did you get the question?
No.
No. Okay. I will try the chat. It's in the comment column.
The chat. Or just ask it.
Okay, how does one develop a heart that is always open to all the suffering in the world without being overwhelmed or judgmental and not slipping into the subtle cruelty of indifference? I framed it. Did you get it?
I didn't understand. I didn't understand. Can you chat?
Because of the echo noise, I missed quite a lot of words there.
Shall I repeat?
How about this? When we aren't talking, how about we mute our microphones so in case there is any echo, it'll be less
Okay.
than
Okay.
Oh, very nice. So, let's see. Do you recite the Bodhisattva vows?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Twice a day.
there you go.
That's how you do it.
You
Should
don't,
hear
I mean,
it.
the more you think about it, the more overwhelming it's going to become, but the more you
Yes,
just
it
do
is.
it.
It is. It is overwhelming sometimes.
It's a perfectly natural thing.
Mm.
It's what you would do before thinking about it.
Okay. Okay.
Old lady needs to, get help crossing the street. You help her cross the street.
Okay.
That simple.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Inzan,
I got it.
a koan. Why the chicken cross the street? To cross the
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I got your question. You say, how does one develop a heart that is always open to all the suffering in the world without being overwhelmed or judgmental and not slipping into the subtle cruelty of indifference? That's a very nice question. I'm going to put it there
Thank
so
you.
Inzan can read it. Can you read
I
it?
already actually answered it, Julio, so I'm good.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, after me, of course.
Not to him.
Yeah.
I think he wasn't paying attention.
No, it is a very good question. How does one develop a heart that is always open to all suffering in the world without being overwhelmed or judgmental and not slipping into the subtle cruelty of indifference? It's very tricky because having your heart open to the suffering doesn't mean that you should suffer for every single thing that happens and you cannot do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Opening your heart of suffering, it's developing empathy, and so you can have the urgency to try to help, to really care, really do care. So you can say, what can I do? Instead of just start suffering and say, oh, I'm suffering so much, poor people, or getting angry about the injustices and saying like, arg, those are bad people and good people. At the end, it's the same. You are just suffering and doing nothing. I mean, that kind of empathy, that kind of suffering produced by compassion and by empathy, it's it's a source of suffering as well. It's not a wholesome feeling.
Yes.
A wholesome feeling will trigger an action. You will say, for example, if you see a kid on the street and you say, "Oh, poor kid," and you start suffering, you are not really exercising compassion. You are just trying to you are being selfish. You are being saying yourself, "Oh, I'm so good because I feel sorry for that kid," but you don't do anything. So what is the point? That is a kind of even a kind of what's the word? Hypocrisy. You know, you should if you see a kid suffering, instead of saying "poor kid, I will suffer," if you can stop and do something, at least even temporary, maybe you will not be able to fix his whole life, but going and giving him a piece of bread, buy him a or seeing what can you do in that moment, how can you engage, or if you cannot engage in that moment, what can you do later, or what action can you take? That's a real compassion. How can you do something? But
Okay.
it's not just a feeling bad about it, and there is many other things that you cannot do anything about it. It is wrong to just start feeling bad about it. You cannot avoid sometimes because there is some, many bad things happening in the world that will always be happening, and but that is precisely why the teachings are to so you can be more focused on the here and now, and how can you engage and how can you uh, do something without suffering. Inzan,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I leave you with this question. Bye.
Since Julio seems to have missed my previous answer,
Yes.
would seem he can watch it on the video, of course, but and in follow-up to his koan,
Yes.
I would say if you see the chicken helps kneading cross the road, help the chicken
Okay.
cross the road.
Okay. Okay. Bye. Thank
What do you
you.
mean bye?
Thank you so much.
Why are you leaving?
There are supposed to be 107 guests. I don't see anybody there. Where are they? I even sent out invites. Everyone said yes, maybe, yes, maybe.
The idea of this exercise is not just to make a video and broadcast something for people to watch. The main idea is to start developing a group of friends
Okay,
to build a
that's a great
sangha
idea.
with a real virtual online sangha.
Oh,
So you are
very nice.
part of it. It's not just about, okay, I'm going
Such
to
a welcome idea, Julio. I find myself so isolated in this. It's
yeah,
really good.
one of us or
Well,
something.
that's sort of the reason that we did this is because I
Thank you,
put
Inzan.
out that little,
I responded on that post of yours when you're starting the Sangha life. Okay,
yeah.
I do face the problem. There is no actual Sangha other than the one we have on Google, for me especially. It's really difficult.
Well, I think we have to pursue this live tack rather than always recorded. I mean, recorded is nice when technology prevents us from going live, which it happens every now and then. But
Many a time the weekend connections are bad here. In India, the weekend connections.
Sometimes here too.
Such a handicap.
So, the idea was that we would provide some way to support each other's practice for those who don't have a live, in-person human sangha to interact with. I mean, I didn't realize how fortunate
I have this practical problem I've been facing. Inzan, hi. Inzan,
hi.
How does one overcome sleepiness during Zazen? I do feel sleepy, very sleepy.
Sleepy.
Then you say sleeping.
I recognize it. I get
that. I mean, if it was a Rinzai temple, you might have the guy with the stick come by and whack you in the middle of the back. It's really not an issue I've ever had. So, like once I'm awake in the morning, I'm awake. And as Naga can attest to the times that she's seen me post, 2 o'clock in the morning isn't unusual for me to still be awake. So,
Like me and Inzan are up until 2.
No, this is okay. The moment I sit now, I'm going to sleep. The moment I sit in Zazen, I'm going to sleep. That's for sure. It happens. So difficult.
What do you do anything to help observe the breath?
I do that forceful meditation where you breathe from the exhale from the abdomen by contracting the abdominal muscles, and I do count. Sometimes miss the count. I'm still a beginner in that. A little difficult. I used to do Vipassana. That is converting from the closed eye to this opened eye Zazen. It's a little difficult in the transition.
I do Vipassana differently.
As one of your kids to grab a broom, and every time.
The kids are out now.
In the zendos, if somebody's getting asleep, you just feel the bang.
I don't have a zendo around here. That is a problem.
One of your kids.
You have an empty light socket nearby, and when you feel it coming on, stick your finger in it, and that would probably wake you up for a little while.
Yes, I got it.
See, you have to divide your time. For me, I do Vipassana. So you divide the time, 10 minutes, 10 minute walking, 10 minutes sitting. So you don't just sit there forever.
No, it's just a half an hour, and in the half an hour, at least 3 to 4 times I would have tuck, and then got up.
Then you don't sit for half an hour. Then if you're
I
falling,
do zazen like a pudding. Pudding zazen.
then get up and go take a walk.
You people don't face that problem.
End the suffering. Don't sleep.
No, that's actually a very common problem to fall asleep
Is it right?
while meditating, and it's a little bit difficult to tackle because you need to get used to fight against it. At the beginning, it will distract you, and the more you fight, the more that you're gonna be bombarded by the thoughts and everything.
Yes.
But at least you will be, it takes practice. It's the only way. There is many techniques, but sadly, it works differently for each person. Each person, has different effects. Some people likes the to pay attention on breathing. Some people stop doing when you just don't pay attention on anything. You stare at the wall, etc. But it's very common and it's very normal because that means at least that your body is very relaxed. That means that you are passing the stage of stress and tension. Many people in the first stages they cannot get rid of the stress. They cannot get rid of tension even while meditating. So at least that means that you totally relax. You're very comfortable doing it. But eventually you'll get there.
Okay.
Thank you. For me, I think. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say that maybe the reason that I haven't ever had the problem falling asleep during meditation is because I go through this sort of mindfulness checklist almost. I'll look at my posture. I'll see what my posture is like. Am I starting to lean forward? Is my head tilting back or tilting forward? So I'll refresh that. I mean, like our thumbs just barely touching.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. That's a good way. I'll try.
The way I do the Vipassana, my teacher taught is you say rising, falling, but you do not force your breath. It's
different. It's different doing zazen.
Okay.
Zazen and Vipassana switch over is very different. I had no issues with
me fall asleep at all now. Before I used to fall. So now it doesn't make me fall asleep. Even during the day, I can be awake.
Good. That's good.
I don't know Zazen though. One of you have to teach me.
Zazen is different from Vipassana. I tried Vipassana. It gave me a lot of super mundane experiences. I gave it up.
Oh, okay. You have to have somebody who doesn't give you those experiences.
Yes, you need a guide.
Yeah. I don't know how to do Zazen, so can we go over that?
You want to take that?
I want to try. I want to learn.
Do you want me to start and you guys can fill in since Julio both practice as an all?
Yes, I'm the only one.
Question? I'm having audio some
Jyoti's
problems.
kids.
Basically, how do you sit zazen?
How do you do zazen?
Jyoti, maybe it's your kids talking.
No, it's not mine.
So, okay, so.
Oh, I don't have any.
So first, what kind of zazen? People say zazen, but there is a little bit of variety over there. People think that there is only one way to do zazen. If you go to the Asean Sangha, you will do that. What's called a huadu, or that you are thinking about about a question while you are meditating, or some people you have that entry level Zen that you are focusing in your breath in and out, and you have the typical zazen that the Soto secta does, named Shinkataza, which you are not
Just
even
sitting.
focusing on the breathing. You are not doing. I mean, you are not anything at all. You
That's
just
advanced.
you are just there. You know, just sit down. That's it. No thinking, no breathing, no nothing. I mean, not thinking about
Oh.
breathing. Of course, not like you stop breathing, right? So
I mean,
what?
keeling over and dying. I prefer to continue breathing whenever I meditation or whatever, anything.
That is a good thing, you know. That is like a ever-going debate, especially in Japan. Here in Japan, people they love to debate, and sometimes in a not so Buddhist way, you know, like this versus that, especially that ancient rivalry between Rinzai and Otto. Sometimes the Rinzai you do Zazen with a koan in mind, or
You get beaten?
the breathing, and then there is calm that some guys that say no, Chikantasa is everything, is the best, is the better. I think it is a matter of personal experience. You can say many things about it, defend the idea, or not. Personally, the Chikantasa when doing properly is like the ultimate way to, because you are not connected, you are not even here with the breath. Sometimes
Okay.
even the thoughts, even the observer goes away. So
Okay.
that's the thing that personally is the only method when even the observer leaves. All other methods, the observer is there. But once the observer
Okay.
leaves, you realize that there is no self. Even the observer, it's a product. Even that observer is not really the self. It's
Mm-hmm.
just another mental production.
Mm.
Is your senses, your mental senses, your awareness, um,
Mm.
just being aware of the other input, like lights or smells or whatever,
Mm.
but there's
Mm.
still no self. So
Mm-hmm.
in my personal experience, when Chikatasa goes to that extent that there is no
Mm.
observer, that you realize that even the observer is not the self, so everything boom holds.
Mm. Mm.
It it is as well. It's a very harsh because it's not something that you can just achieve in with a little bit of practice. You need to get into it a lot and push yourself,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
and then not push, and then boom. But
Mm-hmm.
what we are talking about it is funny because I was having
Mm.
conversation with with a Madhyamika teacher, and a great guy. So he's an old man, and he was even arguing that he said that you can even make it. I mean that uh, people, you know, Madhyamikas, he said like even meditation is empty. That even meditation can be a product of clinging. And
Mm.
that guy said that he hasn't meditated at all in the last 50 years, and he has no problem to whatsoever to
Mm.
reach a deep understandings. You know, there's some that particular school they made debates, they get through the intellect. And when I was starting to ask him, well, but you just without meditation, you just understanding with the intellect, not beyond the intellect. And he said, what is beyond the intellect? Whatever you can understand is still intellect. You know, there
Mm.
is no like a godly spiritual thing that will understand. The only thing that can understand is your brain. You're not focused. Of course, you can have a deeper understandings, of course, but all your understandings, all your information, all your data, which is impermanent, will go away when you die, is stored in the brain. It is another mental communication as well. It's like you can say that, but it's not ultimate true that you're understanding beyond intellect. What is beyond intellect in reality? Yeah, you can have a very deep understandings. And he was arguing that it's more difficult with a proper training, yes, but he was saying like nothing is totally not nothing is totally necessary. Nothing is what is the word indispensable? And yeah, sometimes blasphemy in Buddhism, saying that meditation is not necessary, blasphemy. But Buddhism is about the not clinging. Of course, I will not recommend to people to not to use a meditation. It's a good way. Sometimes it's shocking to say like, you are a Buddhist. You cannot cling on anything. I mean, it's a very interesting stuff, and I can see Insan wanting to say something about it. What do you say, my friend?
Sometimes.
So, Naga, your question was, how do you sit Zazen versus Vipassana?
Yes.
Okay, so as Julio said, in Soto temples, you'll do shikantaza, which is, like you said, just sitting, where you're just watching the breath, watching the thoughts come and go, not inviting them in for tea, just, thought comes, thought goes. In some Rinzai settings, they will meditate on a koan. What is the sound of one hand? Does a dog have Buddha nature? That's our old one, right?
They also do shikantaza, but not as a big extent as Soto.
Right. And then, like in San and Chan, there's the whole Wado practice, which for me is, what is this? Don't know. What is this? Don't know. And somewhere between trying to intellectually internalize it and just it's sort of blending into the background, like it's no different than the carpet that's underneath my mat and my cushion. Rhythm.
The window is open.
So, anyway, what I was going to say is, if you're in a Soto temple, do Soto practice. If you're in a Rinzai temple, do Rinzai practice. If you're in a San temple, do San practice. For here, the nuts and bolts of it are, you sit with your back erect, your nose lines up with your navel, your head isn't tilted forward or back, the tongue is pressed up against the roof of the mouth, right against the front teeth. Supposedly that lessens the amount of saliva. I don't know, but that's what I've heard. Eyes are half open, half shut. You're staring at like a 45-degree angle 2 feet in front of you. Your hands are in the cosmic mudra, which is like this, with the thumbs just barely touching. Like you could slide a piece of paper in between them. It's a good mindfulness thing because, if you're paying attention to your body as well as everything else, and your thumbs start fiddling around or collapsing into the palms of your hands, if you're mindful of it and keep an eye on it, you can maintain the just barely touching thumbs. You breathe normally. There's no single point of focus per se, like, you know, a spot on the wall or whatever. Back when I was at San Francisco Zen Center, I was sitting in the corner of the room, and there was like a column in front of me, and somebody had actually taken a pen and like put the mark right dead in front of me, and it was like everything I could do to not look at the damn pen mark on the wall. It's like, okay, half closed, floor. So, you know, it's just observe the breath, watch thoughts come and go. I mean, I do Gong'an work, and my teacher agrees with me that, you know, thinking about a koan while sitting in meditation is not necessarily the way it's supposed to work. You know, most Gong'an responses are supposed to be, you know, instantaneous, right? So if you're thinking about it too much beforehand, you're just thinking too much beforehand. So I'll often do a you know, chant as I sit. Every now and then, just to change things up, I'll do the count to 10 thing and start over again. You know, whatever it takes to help focus at that moment is what I'll do. But that's basically it. You know, we normally sit for like 20 minutes to a half hour, then do walking meditation, then sit again,
I will just
and then walk again.
like to add something to the description. I'm not sure about. I'm not too familiar about Seon, but at least Japanese pay a lot of attention on the it is very important to breathe with the lower part of your body, not with the lungs and up. You know, try to breathe with your stomach. That's another very stress point in the Japanese meditation that it hasn't been
Right.
mentioned there. But I guess Seon does the same, right?
What's that called again, Julio? The that point right around your navel. Got a name.
No, then
Hara,
huh?
right? The
Hara.
hara.
In Japanese name the hara. That's why like the
Yeah.
harakiri, you know, like you got the hara. It's managed to have people say that as a center of energy, but yeah, it's the hara,
Right.
which it's sorry, just below, you know, your in the
Like 2 inches below the
lower
navel,
part,
basically.
right? Yeah. So when you breathe, I'm so sorry. Just,
Sorry, go drink water, Julio.
yeah, it's
Please don't die on me. Go get some drink.
yeah, I'm fine. It's just I got a flu 2 days ago, and I'm fine now, but I'm having, you know, all the after effects, and I cannot leave the room to get water because my babies will activate and they will try to enter and blah blah blah. So I'm fine.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Somebody else. We don't have any people asking more questions, right? Actually, at this moment, we have very few viewers, and but we will record this video for some people to watch it, and I really hope that we will start that more people start joining. You know, personally, I consider more success. I prefer to have 10 people watching, 3 people watching, 2 people interacting, feeling like a real Sangha, rather than make a monologue, a video for people to watch it later. It's simply because there's thousands of other Buddhist videos, you know. unless I say something like a totally new, what can I say? If I start talking about impermanence, or if I start talking about the Four Noble Truths, about this, that you name it, there is still at least 100 videos talking about the very same topic. And sometimes, Thich Nhat Hanh, the Dalai Lama, I mean, what Julio Robles can say about it that hasn't been said. So to me, is way better to be in touch with the people, to get the real people. So somebody that has a small problem with as right now, with how can I meditate? Oh, join the hangout and let's see what we can do. Maybe next week you will say, "Oh, I did what you said and didn't work." Oh, okay, then do this. Or Inzan, seems like my method didn't work with her or whatever. Make interaction, make a real sangha. Sometimes G plus, it feels some live, but there is still, it lacks this engagement. And there is a lot of people that I would like to attend. There is many people that I will forget to name, but there is all those Zen moderators, Brad, Andre, and there is people that is always around, like Randy that didn't join, that he was about to join.
But why do you have to post this on the internet?
Yeah.
Don't post it.
Yes.
Keep it as Sangha, and whoever attended, they attended.
Maybe next
I
time.
don't want to be in the video.
Or
too many time zones. Not everybody is as erstwhile a Sangha member as Jyoti to join us at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Jyoti. And you, Naga, come on. We have to
I
beg
haven't all day.
Naga to stay online. She didn't want to be online. Come on.
I am enlightened. No.
Really, real Sangha, and I hope next time more people can join after watching this video, and they know it's very relaxing, nothing like too formal. You don't have to look, I'm even using a hat because of the sweat. I'm using a hat and instead of robes. I don't care, it's very very relaxed time where we can join us, have fun, whatever. Let's be a real Sangha, and within time we will be, start to get more solid stuff and whatever it is. I mean, yeah. Oh, damn cold.
Listen, it's 5 after the hour here.
Yes.
So I'm going to have to bail out. So thank you for letting me join in.
Thank you, Inzan. Thank you, Yoti. Thank you, Naga. And at least I will do this kind of stuff every month, once a month, regardless of what Denny and Inzan do. So you are really welcome to join every time.
Okay.
Ladies, thank you very much.
All right.
Now we are
Thank you.